welcome to Lunch with Iya Funlayo, where we're serving up that spiritual food to help ease you through your week. We give thanks and praise always for this time when we are able to come together and give honor to Olodumare, to our ancestors, to the Orisha, to all of our divine beings. We are so grateful. You know it's always special when it's Ose Obatala, Epa Orisha, oh, Orisha, Epa, Waye, Lomio, Waye, Kalameta, Adupe, Obaba, Obatala, Obatorisha. Baba Onisuru, ay Shanumi, have mercy on all of us, Baba. Bring us patience, bring us peace, bring us goodness. Wrap us continually in your white cloth of understanding. Wrap us in your white cloth of love. Wrap us in your white cloth that gives us vision. Wrap us in your white cloth that helps us to feel deeply. Wrap us in your white cloth that dries our tears, both happy and sad. Baba. Baba. Afori Bale. We put our heads to the ground. We give honor always to the King, the Orisha of all Orisha, Orishanla, the great Orisha. Obatala, Epa Babao, Epa Orisha. Adupe. So good to see so much of the family in the building this morning. Be sure to stay with us after the Adaptable, those who are on Clubhouse, so that you can raise your hand, share your questions, your comments, anything that might be on your heart. You know, we keeps the lunchtime hour short and sweet, so I have just a little bit of a lesson for you today. Obatala teaches us about adaptability. Today we are talking about Obatala and being adaptable. Hey, you know that all of our Orisha have associations with forces of nature, with animals, with elements, right? And one of Obatala's animals is the chameleon. Agemo, the chameleon, yes. And as the story goes, when Obatala was commissioned by Olodumare to create this dry land on which we stand, when he was sent down the iron chain, he was sent down with some firmament from the spiritual realm, with a five-toed hen, and also with a chameleon. And he poured out the earth on the watery realm, the realm of Olokum, Olagba, Olokum. He poured out that sacred firmament from his snail shell. He sat the five-toed hen on top, and the hen began to kick the dirt. And that is how everything spread, which is why the place where all of this is thought to have happened is called Ile Ife, the place from which the earth spread. And once the spreading was done, who was it but Agemo, the chameleon? Hey, who now was put down onto that land and who scurried across to make sure that it was firm, to make sure that it was right, to make sure that it would be sustainable for the rest of the creatures who would be walking on it. And Agemo was rewarded with the ability to blend in because Agemo was the first whose foot touched every corner of the globe. Agemo can blend in wherever he goes. Wherever Agemo goes, he doesn't have to run away from predators. He can simply make himself a part of the environment. He doesn't have to stress so much. He can simply shift his color. He can shift himself in order to meet any circumstance. And so, what can we learn from Agemo? What do we learn? Hey, Epao. We learn from Agemo that being adaptable to our environment is sometimes the best medicine that we can have. We are not always able to change exactly whatever the circumstance is that we find ourselves in. We know that Ifa says, Tibitire, the Yoruba say, Tibitire, la daile aye, there will always be loss, there will always be gain. That happens in our lives. There will always be times when we may find ourselves in certain circumstances that we'd rather not be in and that we are not immediately able to change. But the ability to be adaptable, right? The ability to make the best of whatever situation we are in, the ability to blend in as we need to, right? And go with the flow. When in Ife, do as those in Ife do, as we say, right? So there's power in that. There's power in that. And trust, all day I'm somebody who believes in being an individual, being yourself. When I'm speaking about adapting and blending in, I'm not speaking about shrinking ourselves. I'm not speaking about being disingenuous, but I'm speaking about understanding, right? Understanding that sometimes our greatest power is in our ability to understand. When we are able to adapt to circumstances, that means that we have analyzed and understood those circumstances. And that's truly what this is all about, right? Understanding the environment, understanding what we find ourselves in, and understanding the best way and recognizing that, as we've talked about before, we can't control anybody else but who? Ourselves. Right? We can only control ourselves. Agemo cannot control the environment, but he can blend himself into the environment to ensure his survival. And so understand, just as I shared recently, sometimes the current is strong. Sometimes if you try to swim, you will get too tired. You just have to find a rock and hold on. And the same thing with this. Sometimes, right, you're not able to immediately change where you are, but you can always adapt yourself. You can always find the best way to get what you need out of any circumstance. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And so we pray as we get ready to move into our prayer space. We pray that we will always be able to recognize our own power of adaptability, recognize our own power of analysis of our environment, right? And make that deep enough and powerful enough that we understand how to fit ourselves into it when that is necessary, where we understand how to go with the flow. Because some of us, hold up, wait, Spirit's bringing it through. Hold up. Some of us just be contrary for no reason. Okay, I'm going to talk about us. Some of us got a complaint or a contrary comment to everything. Some of us want to advocate for the devil who don't need no advocate. Some of us make it our business to never blend in or adapt. And then we wonder why we always got problems everywhere we go. Right? And so understand, listen, we are all uniquely made. We all went to Ajala Mopin's place. Remember, we all got our heads from the same place, but we all have different pathways of destiny, right? And so some of our pathways of destiny lead us to not be able to adapt, to find ourselves having issues everywhere we go. And that is a part of what this power of adaptability is, and the power of Obatala. Obatala was beloved everywhere, right? Because he was able to see who people were and meet them at their place of where they are. And that's another symbol of this adaptability, right? It doesn't mean you have to be down with everything. It doesn't mean you have to accept everything. It just means that you meet people where they are, right? That you don't take a contrary stance just to be contrary, right? Because ultimately that leads to unhappiness, right? Ultimately, if we are the common denominator in every conflict, then we have to evaluate ourselves and say, is there a way in which I could have understood this a little bit better? Is there a way in which I could have shifted just a little bit, right? We ain't talking about a whole shift. Could I have gone from one shade of green to another just to try to make this work a little bit better so not both me and my environment would be happy? Right. So as we move into our prayer space, yes, we're just going to pray to always have the strength to recognize, again, this is Ori. This is Ori work. Come on and touch that Ori. This is Ori work, right? Being able to understand when adaptation is necessary and, right, understanding the environment enough to know the ways in which we need to adapt. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Hey, the most adaptable element that we have, it can take the form of liquid. It can take the form of air where we don't see it, steam. It can take the form of ice where it's solid like the earth, where some could, bust somebody in the head. Water! Hey, we know that water. Share fellow, omilo alo. If you want go wash, hey, is water you go use. Share fellow sebe, omilo alo. If you want cook soup, it is water you go use. So we start with our invocation to water always. Omi tutu, ashe tutu, ana tutu, ile tutu, tutu laroye tutu, bobo wegun tutu, bobo orisha tutu, emio tutu, bobo wa tutu ori. Come on and touch that ori, you know. What is Ifa saying? No gunda major if you need a house, ha! You gotta ask your ori, and if you need a spouse, ha! You gotta ask your ori, and if you need that money, hey, you gotta ask your ori, because why? It is only through Ori. It is only through our own ability to adapt. It is only through our own ability to comprehend, to understand the foresight, the vision, all of those things that come from within. It is only through a clean lens, hey, that we are able to truly see. Ashe o, ashe. Mojuba o. Mojuba Olodumare. Ọba terere káyé mọ̀júbà tí òjò mọ̀júbà tí òòrùn mọ̀júbà ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ fòkò yẹrẹ mọ̀júbà rúmìlà ẹlẹ́rìí pín mọ̀júbà ìbáromọ́lẹ̀ ojú kò tún mọ̀júbà ìbáromọ́lẹ̀ ojú kò sín mọ̀júbà ọ̀kanlẹ̀ ní ìwọ ìrùmọ́lẹ̀ mọ̀júbà kọ́dá mọ̀júbà ṣẹ̀dá mọ̀júbà rábẹ́lótúfẹ́ mọ̀júbà wọn ni a fi ń júwe yé mọ̀júbà egungun ilé. Call on your ancestors. It's to say egungun as well. Egungun bawashe. Egungun bawashe. Iba egungun mo pe egungun bawashe. Baba eni ishejeni. And yani ishejeni. Ijeje labo kato borisha. It is our mothers and our fathers that are our Isheshe, the originators and creators and keepers of our traditions. It is Isheshe to whom we pay homage before any Orisha or the entity. Ashe, Ashe. Mojuba Ori. Mojuba baba, mojuba yeye, mojuba wanala seku, mojuba bobo orisha, mojuba tesho dara nikan lo soro. Mojuba baba mi obatala epa baba rubo epa. Orisha epa mole baba mi mojuba oshunye ore yeye mojuba shango. Kawo kabiyesi mojuba ogunye omo mariwo ogunbe mi obe oshe beni akoko. Mojuba oshosi ode mata mojuba mobeji mojuba egbe. Mojuba bobo borisha oloku molagba bobo borisha. Kinkamashe bobo wanti any fefun kinkamashe means may no harm, hurt, or danger ever come, and so we say kinkamashe and the names of anyone we want to bring into this sacred circle of protection right now. I say kinkamashe to each of you listening to the sound of my voice, whether live or later. We say funwani orire, funwani ilera, funwani alafia. Ire mo ire aiku fun bobo wa ashe o. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So, iba eshu, adupwe, adupwe. We give thanks, we give praise. We are so grateful for the ability to call out, for the ability to be in community with one another, for the ability, hey, to know that we are not alone. Hey, we are all connected right now. I pray that you feel not only my presence, but the presence of all of the sisters and brothers who are with you right now, who are praying the same things, who are uplifting these prayers for all of us in the family. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Epa orisha o, orisha epa, adupwe. Speaking of being adaptable, right? We know that it's not ideal to not be able to be in person, right? Because these are communal traditions. And this COVID situation has made things difficult in terms of us getting together, but we adapt. We are on Ogun's internet. Hey, adapting, right? Cutting through the obstacles. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Yes. Now that we have called out to the heavens, we have to spend a few moments and listen to see what message we get directly, right? In a quiet moment as we are connecting with our breath, as we are relaxing into whatever spot we find ourselves in right now. I invite you to take just a few moments with me and gently close down your eyes and begin breathing with me in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in and release. Once more. As we continue breathing deeply in through our noses and out through our mouths, creating a sacred cycle of air through our ori. We allow all imagery to fade from our mind's eye, to grow fainter and fainter, paler and paler, until we are left with a brilliant white in our mind's eye. We feel a wave of relaxation roll down our bodies, from our head, down our neck. We release tension. Down past our shoulders, we release. Down our torso, we release. Down past our hips, into our legs, we release. Down into our feet. Divine energy, energized Ashe runs back up through our feet, up our legs, up past our hips, up into our torsos, out to the tips of our fingers, up into our heads. We give thanks. Epa orisha o, orisha epa. Epa orisha o, orisha epa. Baba wa, Baba Obatala, Bawa sheo. Epa orisha, Baba Obatala, we call on you right now to bring peace, clarity, understanding, adaptability, vision, calm, laughter, and joy. Epa orisha o. Obatala, Oshala, Orishanla. 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 Obatala, Oshala, Orijanla, Obatala, Oshala, Orijanla. Epa orisha o, orisha epa, epa orisha o, orisha epa. Adupe Obatala, babawa bawa sheo, babawa bawa suru, fún wa ní sùúrù, fún wa ní ayọ̀, fún wa ní owó, fún wa ní gbogbo ire o. Àṣẹ, àṣẹ, àṣẹ o. Epa orisha. Let us take 3 more deep cleansing breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths, beginning with 1. 2. And 3. As we release that 3rd breath, let us begin to reawaken our bodies. Wiggle your toes, rotate your ankles, straighten and bend your knees, lean forward and back, stretch those hips, roll your shoulders in gentle circles, forward and back. Let your head fall gently from side to side. Move your body however feels good to you. And finally, the eyes, windows to the soul. Gently, gently open them and rejoin the room or wherever you are. Asheo, ashe. Asheo, epa, orisha, o. Orisha, epa. Give thanks. Welcome back from that journey. I pray that it was as peaceful and beautiful for you as it was for me. I'm grateful always to get to spend this time with you all. And I pray that the peace continues throughout your day and throughout your week. As always, if you have felt blessed by your participation today, I lovingly invite you to participate in the ministry of giving. You can do so by scrolling down and tapping Give Money if you have that button here on Clubhouse. You can also do so via Cash App at $Funlayo or Venmo at Funlayo W. I pray that each and every cent multiplies many times and returns to your pocket, and also remember that your most precious gift, the most valuable thing that you have, is not your money, but it is your time, your energy, your attention. And so I pray that you always only spend those in places and with people who bring you goodness, who bring you joy, who bring laughter, who bring the ability to adapt, who demonstrate and model good adaptability, and Orire, good heads in their lives. If you are new to the family, I lovingly invite you to come on over to AseIre.com and get some more of this medicine we're serving up. You can learn the prayer that we say each week for yourself. Know that it is not just for me to say, it's not just for priests to say, but everybody can say it and learn about the cosmology and how we see the universe as Ifa Orisha practitioners. You can also head to youtube.com/Ase Ire and check out the videos there. My Ifa Orisha 101 video is 35,000 views and counting. Give thanks to all who have watched and shared it. I encourage you to start there. We've got the truth about initiation, godparents, sexuality, all kinds of topics there for you to explore. We give thanks for all of you who enjoy and share and speak the good word about all of the work that we're doing here at Ase Ire, and all of you who support. I am grateful for all of you, and I just again pray the very best. Hey, may Obatala's perfect peace, joy, energy, all vitality, all of it, may it be with you today, tomorrow, and always, and in every way. Asheo, asheo, ashe. Y'all go on ahead and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your lunch hour. Please do join us in the cafe here in just a few moments. If you are working and would like some company, you know I'll always be jamming and playing the tunes in there. So you can head to AseIre.com and click events in order to tune in and join us in the cafe. Y'all know it's always a treat to be with you. You know how we close it out. Come on and sing it with me. Ashe, 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 Ashe.